Awasalam baguye, awasalam bago. Tiring awasalam baguye, kasana wakala kudiye. Awasalam baguye, awasalam bago. Tiring awasalam baguye, kasana wakala kudiye. Awasalam baguye, awasalam bago. Tipompi awasalam baguye, kasana wakala kudiye.
Water is central to living for every human, and in the rural communities is even more important. To begin with, the hygiene and health of rural households cannot be upheld in the absence of water. Water is what our household use for cooking, and so the very nutrition for children and even adults is related to how available water is.
This is a WASH program being implemented in 2 areas, namely WA Urban project and then WA East called Rural project, basically funded from Water Ghana. And so that's where that is the project, and the project seeks to support rural communities to gain access to water and sanitation facilities. In terms of the water, we have them in various components. We have boreholes that seeks to add, to increase or to support in the drilling of boreholes to communities, rural communities that have no water and are dependent on us. And that deals with the small water systems, mechanizations, which we look at existing boreholes and then support it in mechanizing. And the aim or the objective is to expand the usage, because in those areas you have the communities mostly queue or spend a lot of time in accessing the water, and so the objective is to open up instead of having one source for them fetching. When 6 women at a go can come and fetch, and so therefore saving time and then using that extra time to do productive work.
If you look at the water system, that is now just behind my house, it is just behind the headmistress boundary, and then it helps the children a lot. The children come to school very early nowadays because they get access to the water. It's unfortunate that it's not this the taps are not everywhere, but where it is in the heart of the town. If you look at it is helping them very well. They use the water before coming to school.
We used to walk for a long distance in search of water, but now that we have this water system in our community, we don't struggle a lot for water. You can just go in some few minutes, fetch the water and come. We used to have quarrels all over with each other in search of water, but now you can go and fetch water, come and even continue with your housework. Going to farm is no more a problem after fetching water. You can fetch water and still go to farm. Looking at cocoa processing, for instance, you need only the grinding mill and water, which you use for the processing, and without water you can't successfully process cocoa. Our children used to go for water early in the morning before going to school in a very long distance, but now they don't walk that long for water, so they get up early.
Yola Ambrose Sombo Mpaila Akomotinga Ankara Pompinga Lombore.
This water has come at a good time for us in this community, because we used to suffer to get water, and because our women and children used to travel long distances to fetch water from the stream, which used to affect us with diseases, and that has to take us to hospital.
Well, I am called Yakudao, but the community members popularly know me as Teacher Dao. The first and foremost, we are now tuned to enjoying clear and clean water, free from disease. So we find that certain diseases that we're suffering from are eliminated. Like we usually, formerly when we were drinking from the stream, we realized diarrhea and other forms of disease. But as of now, once these facilities have been provided, everything has been eliminated. Now, the second point is, it has eased the distance a woman used to travel down to the riverside to draw the water. They easily just get in touch because it is situated in the center of the community. So they quickly go there, come back, and then they are able to prepare food very early and take it to their farms to continue with their daily work. Thirdly, our animals who used to travel down to the stream side to drink, now drink from the waste water in the distance. I don't know what we call it. That distance that has been built. And then other members who are hardworking have erected smaller gardens, and they use the wastewater to water vegetables, which they enjoy themselves. And then
the fact that water is closer to household means that women who are the bedrock of our economic development have more times on their hands, and with this more time they can then venture into other economic activities. In fact, most of the economic activities that are available at the rural level also require water in order to be conducted. If you look at shea butter, talking about shea butter extraction, pito brewing, basketry, pottery, mat making, batik tie and dye, in fact the whole range, all these can only be conducted when there is water. The biggest challenge we have is with the financing. And the financing, because we have different technology options. The more basic options like the hand dug well is the most affordable one perhaps, but it's also the most unsafe and the most unreliable. And with the advent of climate change, what we are realizing is that a lot of even the very good hand dug wells begin to dry up during the drier months of the year. And what this means is that people may have to go back to their old sources. So what is emerging now is to provide boreholes, especially if you come to the Upper West region, because we don't have too many river bodies that can provide a reliable source of water throughout the year. And so invariable technology of choice has been boreholes, and these are very, very expensive to drill. And so that is where the financing gap again becomes central. Of course, the communities have a role to play in terms of, coming up with the money needed for O&M. And what we have done over the years is to try and encourage them to come up with such funding. And various models have emerged. But because paying for services too is still new in these parts, the dynamics of rolling this out sometimes can be challenging. So, for instance, just on the issue of setting of tariffs, sometimes becomes a source of conflict within communities. And then you have because of the high poverty levels, there's a challenge of how much can you charge to keep the system running, but at the same time be within the affordability bracket for households. So those are
the way forward.
Is critical.
We will call on our partners, especially WaterAid and other partners that support us, and even the assembly, to invest more.
I believe that we need a breakthrough, and that's why an organization like ProNet has begun looking seriously at women empowerment, seriously at microfinance, seriously at some food security and agri interventions that would, among other things, also increase the incomes of our rural people. And hopefully, once this goes on for some time and takes roots, then improved incomes should result in improved levels of service, because then communities should be able to afford the operation and maintenance costs for more reliable but more expensive systems.